Welcome to Belly Fandom. I'm your host Paul. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you may get all of our videos. Hello dear friends of Belly Fandom, I'm your host Paul. Today we're going to talk about a great documentary that is called Invisible Portraits, and we're going to review it because this was part of the For the Love of Dogs online festival now that is promoted by Deadline and also other institutions. So basically this is a great documentary because it portrays the historic situation of the African American women on the United States. Okay, the history of these really, I will say, brave women. Okay, and I would dare to say these are great stories. This is a great documentary. I loved it. It was really touching. It had touching stories. Alright, so basically this was based on interviews, on historic data, on the portraits of the women who are part of this community, right? And they basically tell their stories, the stories of their ancestors, what happened to them on the on the history of the United States. All right, and basically they are telling in a really touching way. All right, you cannot remain indifferent to it. All right, and basically you can see how the African American women was portrayed as an object. All right, for men. All right, and now we see there was injustice and racism against black people, right, on the United States, but on the black women it was more like tough because they were women, right, in a time where they couldn't have or express all of their rights. They couldn't fulfill all of their expectations, right? And being black, which is one of the most affected communities throughout history in the United States. So basically we are, and this documentary shows how this is the most vulnerable sector in the US nowadays, right? And we can see that to this day, all right, with all of the movements and everything that has happened throughout all of the history and even this year. All right, so basically it's a historic journey throughout all of these stories of black women, all right, and how they felt being subject of this abuse throughout the years, and now they finally have the freedom and the ways to express themselves as a community. What are their feelings towards to it? So basically this is a documentary that is needed, is necessary to watch to understand American history. All right, so you need to understand the history, how has evolved all of this situation, how they have evolved, how they have become these stronger women. There is like a misconception that the black women is like really strong, and it doesn't matter what you do to them, they will be resilient to anything that you do to them, and that is not true. They have feelings, they are human beings, right? So this is really important for this documentary to show. Now I think it was a great presentation to portray how the black women were actually even like portrayed as a kind of cartoon or on the American society, you know, and it was really like a subject of a lot of things that shouldn't happen. Now I believe that there was real talk over here. I was able to understand more the situation of black women on the United States with this documentary, alright? And I think I can understand more their point of view, how do they feel, why they were subject to this, and I believe that this is a great documentary. And now it's not only about history, but it is it also portrays what is happening right now. So it portrays history, but also what is going on nowadays. And I believe that this is great. So if you want to understand what is happening with this vulnerable sector. So these are my conclusions. If you want to know more about this situation, especially now we are living tough times, rough times on the world, and especially on the United States. Is well, there is and there has been a movement for years. So if you want to understand that, and specifically this type of sector, which is the most vulnerable of the nation, so you may watch this documentary, and it's recommendable. So share your thoughts down below, and if you like the video, please hit share and subscribe. Alright, this is Paul, and this was Paul Phantom. See you the next time.